Okay, for today, I am talking about the Loans and Investments Project in Honors Higher Algebra. And here's just a super quick overview. You have decided that you're going to be a lawyer and you're going to make 104,600. Where'd that come from? You can't just make that number up. You have to have looked it up, find a spot, take a screenshot of it that shows. Because if I'm going to say prove that you can actually make that much, you have to be able to show me a screenshot of, here's where I got that data. Okay, then you got to figure out the 10, first of all, divide by 12 to get it monthly, and then times by 0.15 to figure out what 15% of your monthly salary is. What's that? That's how much the max is. And let's say, I don't know what that number is. Let's say it's $857 a month. That's the max that you can spend. Is that your loan payment? No. That's the max you could save if you wanted to save for it. So the first part is the loan. You've done them before. You use a TVM solver. That's pretty simple. The second part is you're now going to try to save for it. What's the most the lawyer could save? $857 a month. So what do they start with? U sub 0 is 0. You're starting with no money, and you're going to save and get 3% interest. Why? Because that's about what banks are paying nowadays if you use an online bank anyway. And then, why am I adding? Because it's not a loan. It's an investment. And now this person can save 100 or 857 bucks a month until they've got it. Now this is a critical part. Let's say it takes you 16.2 months to save up enough to buy that snowmobile. You need to use 16.2 months. If you round that to 17, the interest is going to be very difficult to figure out. Okay, because let's say it comes out to 16.2 months where you've saved enough. Then you'd take your 857, you'd times it by the 16.2, and you'd find out, ooh, I have enough to buy my snowmobile. But wait, how come you'll actually have more than 857 times 16.2? Because you will have saved your interest that you've gained. This little tiny bit of interest will mean that you're going to actually not have put in as much as is in the account. That's the part that freaks people out. They're like, well, the amount that's in the account is 857 times 16.2. You are going to be able to save less because the interest makes up for it. I'll give you an example. Let's say that you end up buying a snowmobile for $16,000. You might end up only putting in $15,500, but having $16,000. Why? Because of interest. All right. Now, your job is, the thing that makes this project hard at all is figuring all that out. And you can ask me questions. What you can't do is walk up and say, here, can you check this and see, unless you're ready to be graded, like your project is done and you want to be graded, then you can ask me to do that and I can grade it starting today or tomorrow or the next day or whatever. But the due date on this is tomorrow at midnight. Okay, so you have to be done with your project and have it Dropbox. But I'm probably going to be calling kids up and asking them to talk me through their project because sometimes it's hard to read your writing and I want to actually have that interaction with you to tell me, okay, so tell me how much you made. And if it turns out that you screwed up the project bad enough that you get a bad grade, can you have a retake? Yes, because this is part of the 85% category. We have said, yeah, you can retake this project if you get a bad grade on it. But the bad side for you is you can't just go fix a couple numbers and boom, I've got my whole new project. You have to start with all new numbers. You have to start with a different thing that you're buying. You can have the same job, but we're going to pick a different number for it. Maybe you're making less than the average you had before. Seems like you shouldn't have an increase in your salary if you can't do the project right. So we'll decrease your salary a little bit and then say, how about now? See if you can recreate the project then. Okay? So there is retakes on this if you need that. Any other last questions for the group? If it's about your individual weird situation, ask me later. Yes?
So, like, if we're doing it to go slide, can we do it for
Good question. The presentation at the end can be for the entire class, or it can just be for me. You can just show me that, and it could happen before school, after school, during class, usually in the last few minutes of class kind of thing. So the next several days are going to be me grading projects in here so that you can talk it through with me and I can make sure you did your project right. Okay, any other last questions? Okay, then you've got a whole bunch of time to work today, yes? Question, was tomorrow going to be work day? No, tomorrow is just brand new stuff. So in theory, you should be able to be done, and there are people that are already done. But for sure, by tomorrow at midnight, you should be able to be done with this thing. All right. And if you really want one-on-one help that's longer than just like in class today, you can always ask me after school tomorrow or after school today. I just don't stay after school for a super long time. So you want to catch me right away after school, and I can help you. The only days I don't stay late after school is on Friday. Any other last questions? I mean, I stay after school until I'm supposed to, but on a Friday, I just want to clean up my stuff and go home. So Fridays after school, there's no testing room and no help from the teacher. Okay, that's all I got for you for today. Workday.